Good morning, everyone. I am back again. It is Wednesday. I, again, would like to introduce myself. I am Christina Braun. I am actually one of the teachers at the Art of Makeup School, and today's Wednesday topic, we're actually going to be interviewing Celena. And for those of you who might not know Celena, Celena is the owner of the Art of Makeup School, and I'm super excited because we have some juicy questions. So I am going to wait for Celena to pop in, and we will get started. I hope you guys are all having a super good start to your day. I feel like I'm getting a late start this morning, but here I am on time. That's all that matters, right? Good morning. Hello. Hello, Brooke. Good to see you. I will give it another minute for Celena to pop in. Hello. Hello. Celena, if you're on, you can come in. So I'll also just tell you guys like what we have coming up within the next few weeks. So every Wednesday, in case you haven't noticed, excuse me, my voice is going in and out today. But then every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on the Art of Makeup School Instagram, I always go live with certain topics. Hello, Celena. So we are interviewing Celena, and today is just going to be about her and how she started in her career. Then next Wednesday, we'll be doing celebrity stories. And then the third Wednesday, 3 weeks out, we are going to be talking about how Celena has changed the law. And if you didn't know that she's done some of that, so that is going to happen in 3 weeks. But today we are going to start with interviewing Celena. Come on.
Oh,
good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Wow, I've never done this before. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. I'm so excited. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Yeah, kind of exciting.
Me too. Yes, it's so exciting. So I told them what we're doing right now, that we're pretty much interviewing you and about how you started your career and things like that. And then I have questions here for you, but is there anything you would like to add of who you are or anything in your introduction?
Oh, I missed what you said. No, I mean, I guess I'll just let you ask me the questions.
Okay, cool.
If there's anything that I want to add to it, I guess I'll just add to it. It's
sweet.
Nice and lit up. I don't have my studio lights here, so
oh, you look great. You look great.
Dark. Okay. I'm light enough? You can see.
Yeah, you're light enough. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get started then. My first question is, when did you discover your first love for makeup?
Well, I was 9 years old, and it was at my birthday party. And actually, that was the first time that I actually got a makeup kit for my mom. And it was a full tackle box of like character makeup. I remember there being a ball cap and some blackout tooth wax and some like clown colors and things like that. But actually, the reason why my mom got me that kit is because I was already so into makeup before then. So I don't even know what age, because when I was little, I did a lot of plays and community theater. And so I got to see like the grown-ups that were in the play do makeup, and the whole transformation and everything I was fascinated by. So I don't know. I mean, it could have been like 7, 8 years old. And by my 9th birthday, my mom was like, she's clearly into makeup, and got me that big tackle box full of makeup.
You were ready.
I started, interested in makeup at a very young age.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. That is so cute. So do you remember like when you decided to become a makeup artist?
Yeah, so I was always interested in it, but at the time when I was little and doing all the plays, I thought that I was going to be a movie star when I grew up.
Yeah.
So that was my first goal. That was my priority. First was to become a movie star. and actually pursued that all the way into my 20s. And when I was 15 years old, I when I was little, I lived in a little town outside of LA called Ojai, and it's a very small town. There's like 3,000 population, and some people have heard of it now because a lot of celebrities and like big producers and stuff will move to Ojai because it's an hour and a half from LA, and it's kind of like a way to get out of LA and be in a cute little kind of country small town. And we had goats and horses and
Cute.
all kinds of animals that I grew up on this ranch in Ojai. But it was a very small town, and I had really big plans for my
Yeah.
life. And
Mm-hmm.
I had, stars in my eyes, and I had Hollywood, in
Yes.
the future.
Yeah.
And my grandmother lived like Hollywood Central, like right near the Chinese Theater and the Walk of Fame
Cool.
and the Hollywood Bowl and the Magic Castle. Like that was all her neighbors.
Cool.
So I actually, when I was 15, I asked my grandmother if I could move in with her,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom let me. So I moved to Hollywood when I was 15 and lived with my grandma and went to Hollywood High.
That's awesome.
So like I pursued acting, but on the way, I still loved makeup the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at Hollywood High, I was in a performing arts magnet there, which is like a charter school.
Mm-hmm.
And so most of my classes were all performing arts classes, and I had makeup classes. So
Cool.
I got to do, like, I learned stage makeup, and I got to do makeup on the plays at Hollywood High. The auditorium was beautiful. It held like at least 2,000 people. It's huge. Like if you ever drive by Hollywood High, you'll see these doors and these murals on the outside. It looks like, like the Keller or something. It's huge.
That is so cool. I love it.
So yeah, so I did that, and that was kind of like, oh, if I don't make it as a movie star, I'll be a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know like if I could do both or not. And so I took makeup training then. I majored in theater in college and then took more makeup training then. And I was still pursuing acting, and actually started a band with a friend and did that for a few years.
Cool.
Wasn't until 1997 when I was like in my, I was at the time still in my 20s, but I decided that I was, done with the whole acting and the band scene.
Yes.
And I pursued makeup, and I went back to school for more training, and then totally dove into it.
That's so awesome. So you had a pretty eventful time in Hollywood. Like were you doing both at the same time? So were you trying to still do makeup, or were you more really focused on acting?
So in the beginning, I was doing acting, I was singing in a band, and I was doing makeup too.
Yeah.
So I freelanced in the beginning. I worked for different cosmetic lines, and I freelanced at the different department stores. So I'd go around, and that would be my part-time job to support myself doing acting and the music. So I was doing all three at the same time, but I wasn't like fully committed to being the type of makeup artist that I really wanted, which wasn't in a department store.
That is amazing. So wait, so when did you actually have that turning point of going from acting, and then you decided I'm fully going to go back into makeup artistry? What was that experience like?
Deciding to leave acting. I just kind of like got frustrated not getting jobs, and there's a lot of auditions and a lot of rejections.
Yeah.
Which is why I got into music too, because I felt more empowered with being able to get on stage and book shows. It was easier. and I had more creative freedom because I didn't have to wait for somebody else to give me the opportunity to be
Yeah.
creative. So I also got to wear a lot of makeup on stage. So
Yes.
that was really fun to be, um, performing and then like wearing lots of makeup and glitter and stuff. Like I did the full glam rock kind of makeup.
Yes.
Everybody in the band did. And so I was, still really into it, into makeup. But then finally I was like, I don't know, I guess I grew out of it.
Yep.
And I was not the office type. Like I could not sit in an office. That was not going to work for me.
Yep. Yep.
Something where I was my own boss and I could be creative
Mhm.
and I still love makeup. So that's why I decided I would go learn how to work in production because that was more Hollywood. I wanted to work in the entertainment industry and do like celebrities and red carpet and movies and TV and all that.
Yes.
That's what I went back to school to learn. And I was really lucky. I got work right away.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like you pursued it for so long too. I'm glad that you didn't give up the artistry part because
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. So I'm excited. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
where else have you trained? Like when you wanted to be more focused into artistry, where did you also have training at or what did you do?
So, so after Hollywood High and Cal State Northridge,
Hmm.
I went to a boutique school that was in somebody's home. He was an Emmy Award-winning makeup artist named
Cool.
David Ditmar.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like in that um, kind of family of makeup artists that have worked on Star Trek, like Mike
Hmm.
Key and there's some other there's like several old school makeup artists that have all worked together um, on those shows. So he was one of them and won the Emmys for that too. And such a good teacher. Like
Yeah.
I learned, he was a man and he was working on sets on movies, so it wasn't really about glam and beauty,
Right.
but it was really functional, like just a really strong foundation for makeup that I could work off of and be creative
Yes.
from. And so he was super organized and super clean and like
Hmm.
really taught us a system how to be fast and set up our tables and break down quickly and mix our colors so that we could keep a small kit. And it was really great. Like the techniques that he taught me, I still definitely use today and teach to my students. Um, so that was I did that, and then I also wanted to learn. I didn't learn effects from him or hairstyling, so I went to this school um, called Learning Tree University. It's like a community extension college,
Hmm.
and there were some teachers there that taught me hair, and then also like out of the kit effects, which are just like the small basic wounds and stuff.
Okay. Yep.
And then I was like ready to go.
Yes, that's amazing. So wait, so how long have you been a professional makeup artist?
So I went back to school in 97 and I started working professionally in 98.
Okay,
So,
wow.
so what is that? 22 years
Yeah, 22 years.
in production. But I started working like for freelancing for the cosmetic companies in 1991, I think.
Okay, yep.
So, yeah. So
That's awesome.
different kind of working in makeup artistry, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a long time.
it is a long time. I know. When you think back, you're like, how has it really been that long? Like, especially when it's the same career, it makes it move like you feel like how did time go by so quickly? Like it's crazy. That's so cool. So how did you start finding work in artistry? Like what do you remember like what you did or like any advice that you would give for other upcoming makeup artists, like how to find work that they want to do?
um yes, so like in our school we have a marketing class that we really kind of dig into job resources and how to be proactive and really hustle and network and everything. And there's so many resources, but it really depends on where you live.
Mm-hmm.
So, like where I was in Los Angeles, it was like there was production people all around me all the time. So I could just ask my friend if she knew anyone, basically. And,
Yeah.
she, so for me, I went to her birthday party, which was like go get drinks at a bar. And one of
Mm-hmm.
her best friends was a segment producer on Good Morning America. And
Cool.
I had just graduated school for makeup, and he said, "Oh, well, let me introduce you to the hiring, like the makeup coordinator person at Good Morning America on the ABC lot." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh my goodness,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. And all they had was my portfolio that were just pictures from class that my teacher took, and they were kind of cheesy, like before, after. But I didn't know any better, so I just went there with my portfolio, and
Mm-hmm.
she was just like, "Okay," and she hired
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
me. Yeah, so I immediately started working for Good Morning America, only just a few months after I graduated, and then continued to work for ABC for the next 17 years until after I moved to Portland.
That's awesome. That
But
is so cool.
long lasting client of mine. And so getting to work for Good Morning America opened the doors for me to work for all the national network news shows like World News Tonight, 2020, This Week with George Stephanopoulos, Barbara
Wow.
Walters. Um, Gosh, what are all the shows? There's so many shows and so many people that I got to meet and experiences all because of ABC News. But I would say back to your question, how would you network maybe like in
Mm-hmm.
Portland?
Mm-hmm.
So same thing, just really like getting that confidence in yourself and letting everybody that know that you are ready, you're trained, you're ready to be a makeup artist. This is who you are. This is what you want to do for a living. Who do you know? Like who wants makeup? And maybe who can you practice on even?
Yeah.
Um, so that the word gets out. So
Mm-hmm.
depending on your desired career path, because if it's weddings, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
pursue that differently than if you're going to want to pursue advertising, fashion shoots for like Nike and
Yep.
Adidas. You're going to seek out different resources for
Mm-hmm.
production resources, or try to make meetings with advertising agencies, building your portfolio in a different way for the kind of work that you want to get as well,
Yeah.
going to those
Really good.
networking meetings, joining
Yep.
those Facebook, film Facebook networking groups, and then
Mm-hmm.
going to, like right now we can't meet up, but there's so many virtual meetings right now, and
It's
going to
kind of
those.
yeah, it's kind of cool because like there has been so many virtual things now that it's like now is the time if you don't really typically love to network in a new atmosphere, now is the time to take advantage of that because everything is virtual and you can be in your comfort spot, but you're still networking.
Right.
So that's super helpful.
So many, like I can't even keep up with all
Yep.
of the free classes,
Yep.
the networking groups, and the support and everything. Like there's so much out there right now that, like, if you have nothing to do, you can literally be on
Yes.
all day, do
Yes.
soaking it up right now.
Yeah. So how have you kept up your career for so long? Because now that we've known that you've been here from the beginning,
Yeah.
how have you done that?
Well, I guess keeping my eyes on the goal that keeps me happy is really important too. Not getting stuck in a rut, being a creative person, you want to stay creatively fulfilled too.
Mm-hmm.
So, realizing that it's not practical to be that huge celebrity makeup artist.
Hmm.
Like, if that happens, great,
Yeah.
but I wanted the bread and butter jobs. And so to keep, networking, I enjoy working so much that I still will squeeze in the freelance jobs while I'm running the school
Hmm.
and do both
Hmm.
because, so I'll just take anything. If it's not like super high paid, I don't care. Like, I want to get out there and meet those people and keep, you know, updating my portfolio and networking. So really being available for all kinds of opportunities and also really prioritizing it too. So if you have something else going on that's not as important, I mean, I've also made a lot of sacrifices, like
Hmm.
plans that go out the window because you've got a job, but that's the
Yeah.
nature of the business because you're always doing that. You're always having to juggle and adjust things and change your life. But
Yep.
that's like what keeps you working
Yeah. That's your why.
because they're going to hire somebody else if you're not
Right.
available.
Yep.
And always having your phone on you and always, answering or getting right back to people. You have to do that too. You have to be available all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So listening to you like explain your last many years in the industry, what's been like your favorite type of artistry to do? Do you have a favorite?
It's funny, people ask me that all the time, and like my answer is always more about the experiences that
Oh,
I
sure.
so sometimes the makeup is like really boring because I've
Hmm.
done a lot of interviews because of the news, and
Hmm.
it's really just straight makeup, which is just, men's makeup
Yep.
where you just want to make them look good, but it's a really quick, easy makeup and it's nothing creative at all.
Hmm.
But it's also really, really important, gives
Hmm.
them the confidence they look good on camera, and then you keep getting hired again.
Right.
Um, oh shoot, what was the question?
What's your favorite artistry?
Oh, while you're doing that, you're having this experience. It could
Hmm.
be at this amazing location. It could be meeting some amazing people that you would have never met. Like,
Yep.
I've worked on ex-presidents and like Kennedys and like people that I
Yeah.
would never be in that circle with
Yeah.
if it wasn't for being a makeup artist. So like, I don't care that, I got to put makeup on Ted Kennedy's nose and all it was a little, foundation and powder
Yeah.
I shine. But I got to be at the Democratic National Convention.
That's
And,
awesome.
like, I got to be
Yeah.
part of this historical event. So for me, that's the most exciting part. I love doing beautiful fashion glam makeup and
Hmm.
creating characters and all of that. That's really fun too, but it's really about the experiences I've gotten to have as a makeup artist. That's my favorite thing.
That's amazing. I love that answer because it's so true. Like when you're experiencing the things, and I feel like you're so open minded and you have a wide range of talents that way because you're not constricting yourself in one area. So I love that. That's amazing. So, and I'm super excited that you said about your celebrities because for those of you who are on here right now, next week on Wednesday, we're going to be going over celebrity stories with Celena. And I'm really excited because Celena, I have to tell you, when I was reading your resume and everything, I was like, oh my goodness, there are tons of people on here. I was like, not that I didn't think that like you would have the ability to be with famous people, but I was like, there are tons of names on this list. So cool. So I'm so excited to hear because I've already picked out what I want to talk about next week. But before we end today, I have one last question for you because you said that you obviously grew up outside of where you are now. When did you decide to open a makeup school, and what was like what brought you to that decision?
Um, well, living in Los Angeles, there's perks, but there's also other things that, like the traffic and the
Yeah.
smog and finding a good school, public school for your child. Like those
Mm-hmm.
are all, complex, difficult things to deal with. And um, actually, my daughter had infant asthma really bad.
Oh.
And we lived kind of in kind of a smoggy area, like right near a freeway on ramp. And before that was the last house I lived in before we moved. And the school district, the public school district where we were was not the school, the local homeschool was not good.
Yep.
Like it was like a 2 out of a 10.
Oh, wow.
So we're
Oh.
like, yeah. And then at the same time, there was a market crash and
Mm-hmm.
it was struggle time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had been wanting to get out of LA for a really long time, actually, for many years. I just felt like it wasn't home for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wanted to be somewhere that had more greenery and
Yeah.
trees. I'd heard about Portland and came up to Portland a few times, actually, until it was the right time for us when we basically hit bottom with the struggling and the
Yep.
time with our kid going to school. And we're like, I pretty much dragged them up here. I was like,
Yeah.
that we can either struggle in LA, struggle in Portland where it's pretty, and
Yep.
try to start a new life. And I had discovered that there were no makeup schools in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually took a job at cinema makeup school and I taught there for at least a year
Mm-hmm.
to see if I even liked teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And it went really well. My students liked me a lot. So I was like, oh, I think that this is a good fit for me.
Yes.
So that was the idea. I already started planning it. When I moved to Portland, I'm going to open a makeup school. And I started creating my syllabus and everything while I was still in LA. And then when I got to Portland, it was like pretty much ready. Like I was like,
That's
here,
awesome.
I'm going to start now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like I know you and you are such, like so driven. There's no doubt that you obviously made that happen. Clearly, we know now that you did, but it's such a amazing thing to have the courage to leave behind where you left and to start something so new. That's really inspiring. I love that. Really, really lovely. Yes. Celena, I'm so excited we could do this. It's so nice as a teacher, was one of your teachers, to get to know you as well, because I feel like we're always so busy. We don't always have time to really understand our backgrounds or our resumes. So this is so fun.
Yes.
Excited.
I know.
Yes.
I feel like this is so much easier to have
Mm-hmm.
somebody, a face to look at,
Yeah.
and to be asked questions than
Yes.
me to go on by myself and
Yes.
try to like stare at the dot and like
Yeah.
talk to myself.
You're just, yeah. It's so true.
So hard.
It can be very challenging. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so this is really so much easier. Thank you for
Oh my
doing
goodness.
this.
Of course. Yes. Yes. So next week you'll be back next Wednesday. And for those of you who are on here, and as this video is posted later, we are going to be doing 3 sessions. So today we just learned about Celena's story and a little bit about her background. And then next week we will be doing celebrity stories, which I'm really excited about because I have some good names that I picked that I want to know about.
Yes.
And then the next following week, the 3rd week out, will be how Celena changed the law and what exactly the rules are now. And I am so glad that we're going over that because I was rooting for you when you were changing the law, because I was like, this needs to be changed for sure.
Yes, thank you. And I want to thank David Woodruff, who I see has been listening.
Yes.
And he's a fantastic, he works on movies and he does special effects, and he's actually been up here and taught a class for us. So Son of Pumpkinhead is his username, because his father is also a very successful makeup artist. So thank you for joining us. And then also
Yes.
is on here. Hi, Moni. Moni's the one that started the band with me. So she, she's
perfect.
on right now. So yeah, we've been friends for a very long time.
Oh, that is so awesome. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So then I will wrap up today's session. And thank you again, Celena, for being on here. And Celena and I will be back again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. We'll be interviewing, like I mentioned, we'll be talking about celebrity stories. So be tuned and be ready for that. And
Yes.
is there anything else that you would like to add, Celena, before I wrap up?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that's
Yay.
you did a great job. Thank you.
Selena, you did the great job. Yes, all I needed to do was ask you questions. I was like, what kind of questions can I ask you? So then I will see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. then.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.